Hello, I am Ashley Dwyer Skates, and I'm a sales coordinator with the Juice Plus company and Team PCS, and I had to let my upline go. What really happened is my upline national marketing director, Christy Nix, decided to move from next door to 4,774 miles away. She did everything for me, hosted all of my events. She was the three to my three-way call, and all I ever had to do was invite people. I was enabled, and she was overwhelmed, being everything to everyone. I attended the Indianapolis Juice Plus Live with two of my team members, knowing I was going to need a big change and that things needed to be different. I had to literally say, in Eric Worre's words, goodbye to my upline. And that's when I heard about the Freedom Revolution. This less than 30-minute Zoom call, read from a script, was the answer to all of my perceived problems. The only issue was I had to do it myself. You see, you only know what you know. And when I joined this business, my upline was shooting for NMD. We had presentations all the time, hosted by other team members that had been in this business a lot longer than I had. Naturally, it was easy for me to assume that I didn't need to be at that level. So I played small. I depended on others to lead my team. I took 17 years of military leadership skills and just threw them out the window and made a decision that I was not capable of hosting my own events. So what was I going to do? She's moving to Hawaii. That's a 5-hour time difference. Do I fold up shop and quit? Do I recreate the will and do something I feel comfortable with? Do I beg other team members and sidelines to step in? The answer is no. I made the decision to step up and step out. On a drive home from the conference with my team, we made a plan to invite to our very first Freedom Revolution launch. I scheduled it, created the Zoom, did the image with all the event details, and it was off. It was happening. The first one, it went great. I survived. I even did an okay job. I forgot to hit record, which only meant my team member had to do it again the next week. And the next day, I launched another team member, and I got better. I even invited my upline, but not to host, to share her story. And all it took was that tiny first step. And now we're doing them every week, and my team is on fire. We also started team training. After all of Pam's hard work putting together meetings to fit everyone's time schedules, I wasn't about to miss one. The first East Coast meeting, I was surprised to see Pam in Washington on there. So naturally, I thought she was hosting. I asked her what was on her agenda for the meeting, and she said, Ashley, I thought you would host it. And you know what? I could, and I did. Our next team meeting, we did story training in preparation for the Freedom Revolutions. Now we throw up the script and take turns being the host and sharing stories. Soon, everyone on our team will be empowered to host a Freedom Revolution for anyone. In closing, recently I was asked about my relationship with my family. This question immediately caught me off guard because it wasn't my biological family that came to mind. It was my Juice Plus family, and they're better than anyone could ever want. You literally get to pick the people you work with. So stop making excuses based on what you think you know. Take responsibility for yourself and your team members and step out of your comfort zone. By doing this, you will set the example for your team to live brave and large because there's no room for playing small in the revolution. And now I'm happy to hand you over to my amazing friend and team member, Joanna Polk.
Thank you, Ashley. My name is Joanna Polk, and I am a senior sales coordinator also on Team PCS. Much like Ashley, I went to conference knowing that I needed a pick-me-up. And although my team was still slowly growing, I needed something to invigorate me further. Being in the room with thousands of happy people is always uplifting. However, being in the room with your team is so much more. Conference always allows us to see that bigger picture and to experience the culture that our company has to offer. But being with our team really allows for the growth in those relationships. This is huge, especially when your team spans the globe like ours does. So much like most other conferences in the past, we all go home with something different. And I had heard about the Freedom Revolution, and I had even listened to Deanna and Brian Rose present on it. But it wasn't until Ashley took off with it after conference that I just got it. So I immediately jumped on board. I encouraged my team to jump on board, and they did. They started hosting them, and they started speaking on each other's events. They were getting pushed out of their comfort zones, and we all know what happens outside of our comfort zones. That's when growth occurs. So between encouraging them to utilize the Freedom Revolution calls and to utilize our team calls that we had implemented, I've started to witness the growth in both their businesses and in their confidence. Cassie and I host a West Coast, Pacific, Europe, Asia, you name it call. And the first night I jumped on there, I recognized the faces, but I didn't know any of the ladies on there. So I've really gotten a chance to get to know those ladies and to help coach them through their struggles. And they're able to do the same for me. The flip side is that my direct downline, most of my direct downline attends another team call because they're in a completely different time zone. They're able to learn and grow utilizing other members of our team, and they're getting a different perspective than what they always get from me. They're stepping up and they're stepping out on their own, and we're starting to raise leaders. With the Freedom Revolution calls, we're experiencing a little bit of a learning curve. We're getting our new team members to do all the work. So we're having them create the Zoom, create the flyer, do the inviting. And what we're learning are a few things. One, you have to be logged into your Zoom account in order to schedule the event, but you also have to be logged in there to host it and record it. Number two, when we're scheduling the calls, we need to make sure, especially with these newer accounts that don't have an unlimited amount of time, that they're not allowing guests to join before the host. So that way we can ensure we do get the full 40 minutes if needed. And then number three is easy, follow up. Follow up is easy. It is written on a script for us. It's provided by the Freedom Revolution. We are encouraging our team, once they've hosted one, to host a repeat call. Christy asked me why I took all of this on with my current situation. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm a military family. My husband is active duty Army. We moved to Walla Walla, Washington this summer from Tennessee. 2 months into my husband working, he was called to deploy. So now I am here alone, single parenting. I'm in a new state. I have a much smaller support system local to me than I did in Tennessee. I'm working full-time outside of the home, hoping to help with my children's transition. I'm a busy mom. I have 2 kiddos who are active in everything, from soccer to dance to school to scouts, you name it, we do it. And I'm doing all of that while serving my team beyond just my direct downline. So my answer to Christy was, why not? What better time do we have than now? I mean, the growth potential that we see for our team right now is huge. We have so many people that are eager to jump on board, and why not utilize all the tools that we have at our fingertips, to include myself? If my leaders, I think back and if my leaders had not invested their time in me, or if they had stopped when their significant others had gone through a deployment, which is very often, then I wouldn't be sitting here with you guys with my eyes set on cue, nor would I be here sharing with all of you. So my advice is just plain and simple, and it is to jump on board. So if you don't already attend your weekly team meetings, if you don't already attend Rep Rap, if you don't already attend local events or scheduling your own, I want to encourage you to do so. More importantly, jump on board with these Freedom Revolution calls. What simpler method to share with our friends and our family than to just simply share our story? And most of all, don't let your excuses be the reason that you don't do something. Let them be the reason that you do.